actually right. Yes, already welcomed, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so today the webinar will be like for some advanced merchants. I guess you will remember some of these mistakes from your past. Some new members and new merchants who just recently launched e-commerce business. I hope you will avoid at least 9 of them, or maybe even 10, all of them. So yeah, it is always good to refresh. Hello, Vitaly.
Hello, everyone.
Such a nice background you have, huh?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, very glad to see Tatiana. I haven't seen her for a long time.
Actually, for a long time, yeah, we are isolated always, you know.
So Tatiana and Vitaly, they was ex-colleagues from one company, Splat. So good.
We are now always colleagues on the market, so
That's true. That's true.
nothing changed. So
okay, cool. So we're almost ready to start.
Yeah, by the way, we are live already on YouTube.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can
Okay, cool.
So
people. I just also want to highlight today this webinar is also open. Of course, Zoom only for core members, and we also have simultaneously YouTube live. So yeah, please, Shaoming.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, let's get started. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the time for our club webinar again, every Tuesday, 5 p.m. China time. And today is going to be a very special topic and very important topic, the top 10 mistakes that foreign merchants make in China. I think it's very useful for every merchant in China or to be in China. And because of this is going to be an open webinar, so therefore we have lots of new audiences. And so for our regular members, please bear with me that I will use a little bit of time to introduce who I am and who we are, okay, again. So my name is Shaoming Yang. I have 15 years of experience in the Chinese e-commerce market. And I used to be I was the former VP of Tmall Global and AliExpress of Alibaba Group, and therefore I helped hundreds of merchants to enter the Chinese e-commerce markets. And also please welcome Aina, my co-founder.
Thank you, Shaoming. Thank you, Shaoming. I work intensively in China from 2015, and my first startup was failed exactly because I didn't know in that time how to run properly business in e-commerce area. So that's how we realized with Xiaomin together, wow, if I made these mistakes, so hundreds of merchants do these mistakes. That's how we come up with this idea to, let's say, save the market and help foreign merchants be successful, don't waste time, money, and really know what is happening in China and catch this opportunity.
Thank you, Aina.
And by the way, today we will also introduce the club. After webinar, I will give a special offer for users and for audience who watch us in YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, and a little bit about the club. The China How Club. The website is www.chinahow.club. Okay, it is an online community for foreign merchants that you want to sell your products in China, and we provide different kind of content and service. Say we have knowledge, teaching program, and we have weekly webinars, and we have data reports so that you can see how the market is before you make the decisions. And also we will help you to connect with the local experts and partners in China, so that, and the most importantly is the members we communicate each other, so share our own experiences, so that you will never feel alone in this market. Okay, so let's get started. And well, I guess before everything, because you are watching this, so you already avoided the biggest mistake, okay? Starting a business without enough knowledge about China. And before we start, I have two things to mention about this webinar. So number one is because of the, I want to protect the brand, because we are going to share 10 cases, and but to protect them, I will not give you, I'm sorry that I will not give you the names, exact names of these brands, okay? And secondly, if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A section afterwards. So please just type your questions in the chat box or in the YouTube comment area, okay? So let's, I grouped all the 10 mistakes into 3 parts, okay? Number one is you make the strategy before you enter the market. Number 2 is you are planning to do this market and you're finding local partners. So the mistakes that about local partners. And number 3 is the execution part. You're already running the business, okay? So the first mistake, everything relies on a Chinese distributor. So this is for most of the merchants that enter China offline. I know this is traditionally, this is the way how you do the business, right? And actually, most of members, they also did the business this way. And so as you can imagine, this is the process will be a completely black box for you. So you don't know who will buy your product, and how the consumers looks like and why they buy it. You don't know this. And also there's always a conflict of interest, because the distributors, they always want to lower the purchase price for higher margin, and they want to spend too much of the marketing fee and branding fee, especially if you are a new brand. You are not some brand like a Super Nike in China, so they will not spend too much money on yours or for you, right? And also these people, they are offline people. They don't know online. They don't know cross-border e-commerce. This by the way, we have some classes, online classes, I mean, about the cross-border e-commerce, which is very popular in China. You can sell your products to the markets by different models to bypass a lot of regulations of the Chinese government. And this is a completely legal way, not a gray area, okay? So, so that is why we recommend you to, before you waste too much of your money and you pay the money and waste your money and the time, you spend money and pray for the good results. Instead of doing this, we recommend you to study and analyze the cross-border e-commerce, okay? And actually, in this cross-border e-commerce business, there are different models, okay? You can open a flagship store, or you can do the B2B2C model, which we also introduced, or you can find an online distributor for you, or and also you should choose this by say you have different products, or you have a different brand awareness level in China, or you have a different target in this market. Okay, so different investment in this market. So according to your situation, different situation, you can choose different business models. Okay, and of course we will discuss this. We have a special class to discuss this in detail. Okay, so so this is the first mistake. Everything relies on a Chinese distributor. Okay, and the second mistake is well, this is more common for the online, the brands enter China online, okay? But they just want to duplicate, to copy their past success into the China market. So, well, then, you know, we have some brands, they, in their home country, they do Amazon or they do their own official website, and very good. And even they copy this model, say, to the US market, to Japan, or to Vietnam. But I have to tell you that in China, it is very different, okay? The marketing channels are different. There's no YouTube, there's no Google, right? No Facebook. And the consumers are different, right? And because in China, over 30% of the consumption, total consumption happened online last year. And in this year, because of COVID-19, we expected that this number will be even higher. And and the business environment is different, because in China, the biggest model is platform, like say Alibaba. It's a 3P model. It's a marketplace. And the top three players, Alibaba, JD, and Pinduoduo, they occupied about 90% of the market share. So and even Alibaba alone, they have about 60%. This is by far higher than Amazon, because even in Amazon, in the US, they only have 1/3. So there's a lot of differences. Okay, I don't need to go into the details, but before doing this, well, before entering the market, you should learn the knowledge. Okay, and to give you an example, we have a member. Okay, and from the UK, and they do the cosmetics, and they always think, why in China they open a store in China, and they're curious, why in China every day there are some discounts. The Tmall, every day they ask us to do discount. Why people do like this? Because in the UK, although they are an online brand in the UK, and 90% of sales in the UK are from online, but they never faced this before. Okay, so this is because, well, in China, it is discount driven. Maybe you have heard of this, the 11/11 campaign, which means the November 11th of every year. Last year, the 11/11 campaign, the GMV was $38 billion, which is 5 times bigger than Black Friday globally. Okay, so, and on that day, people need to give 50% discounts or even higher to drive the consumers to buy from their stores. So this is, we say, the Chinese consumers are very much discount driven. But you will say, okay, how to protect my profits, right? So that is why we recommend you to make a price and product system to protect your property. Okay, we will come to this point in the later slide. And okay, and the third mistake is randomly choose a Chinese person to be your head of e-commerce in China. This is very common for some of the merchants that planning to do the Chinese markets. Okay, so yes, I have my plan, business plan, I have the money ready, and yes, I'm going to do it, but I don't know who can run it. Okay, then, well, one of my, before I joined Alibaba Group, I was running my own business, which is the first cross-border TP in China. What is TP? It means Tmall partner. We will come to this later. So I was running my TP, and I helped an US brand to sell their products in China. And what they did before the cooperation with me, they found an intern in New York. They're a lot of the students in Chinese students in New York. Okay, but unfortunately, this little girl, she knows nothing about China e-commerce, and as you can see, the performance was a disaster, and they were spending the company's money to train this intern to understand China e-commerce. So I guess this is not what you want. And I always say this: there are 1.4 billion people on Earth that know Chinese very well. Okay, they're native speakers of Chinese, but very few of them really know e-commerce. And even in China, a good e-commerce expert is very difficult to find. Okay, and of course that they cost a lot of money. So, but don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a Chinese speaker is useless. Okay, of course it will be good that you find a Chinese speaking person. Okay, especially a native Chinese, because there are a lot of subtle differences between products and the search keywords. And yeah, so if a foreigner, it's difficult for him to understand that deep level. But that is, of course, the best scenario is if you can find a Chinese expert, okay? But if you couldn't do this, then you can find a Chinese who's open-minded and train him or her. And of course, we are happy to do this. And then definitely, no matter who you find, you need a TP.
Shaoming, and I would just want to add, by the end of the webinar, all new potential members, if they will join the club today, they will get 30 minutes call with me. So I quickly will check what is the stage and what potential mistake they can do and how to avoid them very quickly. So you can don't need to go deeper to every case, because I will help all of our new members. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Yeah, that's going to be helpful. And so I talked about TP, right? If you are new to China e-commerce, you may ask, what is TP? TP means team of partner. Okay, so a TP is the guy who is like your outsourced e-commerce team. They will handle everything. Store setup, marketing, operation, customer service, logistics, everything for you. Okay, so you just focus on your business, which is product development, supply chain. So as you can imagine, TP is very important, right? Then, but before you find and work with a good TP, you must know how TP works. So, and there are many, unfortunately, many foreign merchants, they don't know this. They just randomly choose a TP on the market. And so there's I highlighted a word here. It's called lemon market effect. Well, I'm not going to dive into this. You can search on Wikipedia. This means, in general, basically it means bad money drives out good money because of the information asymmetry between sellers and buyers. Okay, so let me give you an example. One of our members, who is a very famous brand in Europe about oral care, and they found, before they joined our club, they found a TP, earlier worked with them. And this TP even put them into the wrong category, okay? Put them into the clean category. So that's why every 11/11 campaign, which I just mentioned, the biggest campaign, okay, around the world, 5 times bigger than Black Friday, they couldn't join because they're in the wrong category, okay? So this is a terrible mistake, right? And there are, and the unprofessional TP will most likely make these kind of mistakes. So, so my suggestion for you is we have a TP class, okay? And in this TP class, we not only give you the information, the knowledge, but also give you some useful tools. Say how to a questionnaire list, okay, so that you can use it to ask a TP, and also an evaluation table, so you can benchmark it, and also a template of the agreements, so that you can avoid some mistakes or some traps that TP make. For example, if you want to change another TP in the future, what will happen? Well, you should put this into the contract. Okay, and the next mistake is very common for the foreign merchants, that you only work with the TP who can speak very good English. Why? Because it is easy to communicate, right? And they also know how to entertain you, make you feel happy, okay? Bring you to the fancy restaurants in Shanghai, right? And make a fancy PPT for you, okay? So you feel better, okay? But that is, you should pay for their result and their service, not to pay for their language skills or happy dinner, right? So, so on the other hand, I admit that communication is crucial, okay? So on the market, 95% or even 99% of TP, although there are thousands of TP, as I mentioned, but most of them, they don't speak English at all. They don't have English agreements, okay? So what we recommend is you should find the TP who can talk in English, but funded by a Chinese, or at least a partner, one Chinese, one foreigner, okay? And the main guy, the operational guy, should be a Chinese. So this is so if you don't know how to, just like the previous mistake, if you don't know how to evaluate a TP, the only thing you can do is, okay, I evaluate TP based on their language skill, or based on the dinner bill, okay, happy dinner in Shanghai. This is the only way you can evaluate the TP. But if you know their tricks, you can clearly see, okay, this is good one. Yeah, this is the bad one, okay. And of course, in our club service, we also have a service to recommend the TP to you, okay. Based on your category and your business plan, we can recommend the TP to you. So, and number 6 is to let the TP own the store. What does it mean? Okay, it's a little bit difficult. So, if you're running a store, okay, Tmall store, let me show this, okay, any store, say nike.tmall.com. In this store, this is a so-called Tmall flagship store, which means there can be only one store in all the Tmall system, Tmall and Taobao, okay, which is this store, which this is an exclusive Tmall flagship store owned by Nike themselves, or owned by an exclusive partner, exclusively authorized by Nike, okay, which means if Nike authorized this to another party, say party A, okay, or company A, then this store is owned by company A, and even Nike, they cannot take it back. Okay, so this is a one way only until the authorization is expired. So, and by the way, you can check who owns the store by here, but it's in Chinese, okay? But this is, I'm not going to dive into details because we have another class to talk about this. So the mistake is, very common is you just authorized a third party to own the store. It could be the TP, or it could be your distributor in China. And because at the very beginning, you don't know this at all, okay? So the TP or your partner give you a piece of paper, okay? Said, okay, I authorize party A to own my store, to open the store. You just sign it. And yes, they happily took this paper to open the store, apply the store. And yeah, this is this happened to many famous brands. Say when I was running my own TP, I introduced earlier, I helped one of my clients is the leading brand from Europe. They produced a water heater, very famous. I know, I believe you know it. And so they did this mistake. And after 2 years, they realized, oh, this is a big mistake. I want the store back. I want to do this by myself. And also the guy didn't do a good job. Okay. But the partner refused to give the store back to them because according to the contract, there's no such term. So what they have to do is they use all their resources and energies to find lawyer, everything, to talk with Alibaba. And finally, okay, they closed the old store owned by their partner and opened a new one. But by doing this, they lost all their credit. The old customers, the store name, they even have to name a new store and use a new domain because the old store is that. So yeah, so this so they have put it another way, they have to start from scratch again. And as you can imagine, years have been wasted. So my recommendation for you is own your store. If you have a WUFI in China, what is WUFI? That means whole owned foreign entity, which means your company in China, okay? And if you don't have a WUFI in China yet, and in this case, yes, you can authorize your TP to own the store, but put this into the contract that when I have a WUFI in China, the TP or the partner, they have to give the store back to me without any costs or questions. Okay, and these are the mistakes that most commonly happened for the merchants that they are choosing TPs. Okay, and for the next mistakes are for the merchant that already started their business in China. Number 7 is not enough internal support. This is not only for foreign merchants. This is also for local merchants. I used to help a local company, advise a local company in China. They are leading brand, the biggest brand of baby carriers in China, okay? And they originally was an OEM factory for the famous brand outside. And then they transferred to a local, to produce their own brands. And this was a brilliant decision because if not, they probably is dead now because of COVID-19. No orders from foreign countries at all, right? So when I was advising them, we have to because this is a factory, so everything is running with the pace of a factory, very slow, and everything is by the workers. It's like a worker. They when they enter the office, they need to show their ID and register when they enter the office and when they leave. You know, its management is like that, and so we have to do 2 things. Number 1, I need to isolate their e-commerce office and even put it into another city to completely isolate. And number 2, I have to build some kind of communication between the headquarters, the factory, and the e-commerce business unit. Say we discuss about how to improve the products, how to improve the logistics, and the feedback from the consumers, this kind of thing. And yes, it worked well. So as for you, it's the same, especially if you don't have any experience about e-commerce, then you should pay attention to how to create a synergy. And also I recommend you to, because we have a lot of topics, educational programs here in this club. So I always recommend our members to bring their colleagues to join the webinars together. Say if we are talking about finance and we have a class about how to make a P&L about e-commerce, then you should bring your finance manager. And we also have a class about talking about how to, last week, yes, we had about the legal, how to protect your brand in China. You can bring your legal colleagues to the webinar as well. So this is so that you can create more synergy. It shouldn't be a one-man show about the founders or CEOs or the project leader. Okay, it should be a teamwork. Okay. And number 8 is you move too slow. Yes, many, I will say most of the foreign companies unfortunately made this mistake. You know, the Chinese market is changing very fast, especially in the leading companies like say Alibaba. Sometimes in the morning we have a meeting. Okay, this month the sales is not good. So in the afternoon, we are going to run a new campaign about this category. Okay, so please, you contact your brands, your leading merchants, and invite them to join this. And then the category manager. Okay, what is category manager? We have another class to introduce. This is please remember this is the most important guy for business in China. Okay, so team of category manager will make a call with you. Okay, so please, Mister, we have a campaign this afternoon, and are you going to join us? Or maybe they make a phone call with a TP, and then you receive message and you say, okay, yeah, okay, I will have an internal discussion and ask for approval. Maybe you have an answer by next week. Then, okay, they will say, okay, forget it. We have 200 brands waiting for this opportunity. So yes, and if you continuously do this, then most likely they will forget. They will not contact you anymore. Okay, because every time I talk to you, you wait for 2 weeks. Then, yeah, there's no 2 weeks to wait. So then, but on the other hand, I can understand that there is always some kind of difficulties because you are big. It's a big company, and you have an internal process to follow. And yeah, it should be, and also you should control the discount level of each merchant, right? A discount level of the TPs, right? You don't want to lose too much of your profit, etc. There are different reasons. So my recommendation for you is you can define some rules in advance. Okay, of course, discuss with your TP. Okay, and if we agree on this, the TPs, they can make some decisions by themselves, and or if you're the project leader. Okay, I also recommend every one of you have a project leader, because you're the CEO. You are too busy to make all decisions by yourselves. So or learn all these knowledges is it's impossible. Then you should find a project leader who leads this project, and he's or she's gonna join all the webinars and learn everything and make decisions. I mean, of course, not the super big decisions like finding a TP, but for campaign level, yeah, this guy, the project leader or the TP, they can make it. I can show you a tool that I made in our class. It is product, price, and channel matrix. Okay, so in this you can see by different channels. Okay, by the way, these are the channels that's the biggest channels in China. We have a special class to introduce this one by one, and we have different products. Okay, and different price. Say regular price or promotion price, or big promotion, say 11 campaign, etc. Of course, this is a greatly simplified template. You can make it, you can modify it according to your situation, but this is the concept. By doing this, you can control everything clearly, and also the TPs can make decisions faster. And the final two mistakes are for the merchants that you are doing pretty good in China already. Okay, the business is good in China, but there are still some mistakes to make that you could make. This one is about best sellers. Because of the concentration rate of e-commerce marketplace, it is very high. Which means if I'm a merchant, because the consumers, when they search, they will easily find your best sellers, okay? And so usually we will recommend our merchants, the first thing you need to do, the first step to be successful in China is to create a best seller, okay? So that you can, then after this, you can have a lot of free traffic. People search this product and find you and will go to visit your store. Okay, just like a hook. But if it is out of stock, then all the efforts you made will be probably gone. Okay, we have a brand. They make the energy bar. Because of COVID-19, the energy bar business is getting very good. People want to eat more healthy food and do more sports in the gym. And so they produce this kind of energy bar product, and the sales was very good. But unfortunately, because of the COVID-19, about the logistics and some other things, and their products was out of stock in this March, and immediately their sales dropped more than 30%, and then they have to reboost the bestseller again, because when this it is out of stock, then the algorithm of Tmall search ranking will decrease the search authority, the search weight of algorithm of this product. Okay, so because they think, okay, the AI will think, okay, this product, the supply chain is not good, so it is not. So we shouldn't recommend this too much. Yeah. So that's why my recommendation for you is you should select your bestseller or bestseller to be very carefully. Okay, and maintain the supply chain. And the last mistake is, well, when you visit your business in China, your brand is very famous in China, and unfortunately, China, as we all know, is there are some people in China, they want to create shortcut, right, by stealing your IP, your brand. Yeah. So although all the major platforms, let's say Alibaba or JD, whatever, okay, they, of course, they don't want this kind of thing to happen, okay? And when I was in Alibaba, one of my job is to clean this kind of best sellers. But I have to tell you that this is very difficult. We are not the expert of products. Maybe in your eyes, yeah, this is very easy. You don't know this brand, you don't know this IP, you don't know the patent, you can see this is fake. But we are not the experts, right? So we don't know whether it is real or fake, because the sellers will provide us some other documents to say, I'm good, right? So, and another thing is to protect your brand. The best way is to cooperate with the platform. If a brand came to us, say, okay, there are best sellers, okay, they are selling my products on your platform, then I will say, do you have a Tmall flagship store? If you don't, how can I help you? You're not a partner with us. Why should I help you? So that's why, as a brand, you should always, number one, open a Tmall flagship store to protect your brand, okay? Number two, work actively with this. And of course, it is difficult. I know it's difficult for you. So that's why you need to find a local e-commerce, local partner, legal partner, okay? And legal consultants, and who specialized in the e-commerce industry. So we invited a lady last week to during our club webinar, the same time today, okay, last Tuesday. And if you want to know the details about how to protect the IP in China, you can watch that replay. So, I can give you an example is how smart these people are. So when I was in Tmall, there's a brand from the US. They make very famous backpack for outdoor, okay? But if you are in this industry, you know this, oh, this is a very famous brand, okay, I know it. But if you're not in this industry, I never heard of it before. It's a new thing for me. So there is a Chinese company located in Qingdao, okay? It's a city in northern part of China. And they register a brand in the brand registration bureau of China, okay? So this US brand, the original brand, they also registered this brand, but they only registered in the backpack category. And this local company, they registered almost the same spelling, and the logo is a little bit different, okay? But if you don't watch it closely, you couldn't tell the difference. And they registered this brand as a camera bag, and they use this to also open a Tmall store, Tmall flagship store. So as you can see, these people, some Chinese people, they are super smart, okay? And they can find all the opportunities they can find to steal things. And that's why we should always protect ourselves more actively, especially when you become more and more successful in this market. So these are all for today of the top 10 mistakes. And please, so here's a
Let me do the summary, Shaoming. Thank you. I know sometimes it's painful to remember, even for me. I made 6 of these mistakes. 6. So yeah, it's still painful. And a lot of people ask me in YouTube and WeChat and WhatsApp the question during the webinar. So summary is a very simple summary. Learning should be your first priority in China. It's not like simple, but for Westerners is not easy follow concept, because in the Western world everything is so stable. Amazon last 10 years maybe changed few times the algorithms, the FBA program, and they launched some OEM products from Amazon, and etc. etc. But generally there are not a lot of changes. And Amazon it's like a very conservative platform, I can say. In China, it's like every 3-6 months they launch something new. And by launching something new, it's not mean like it will totally change your concept of your business, but it's always bring new opportunities. So, and all companies and brands who start use these methods quickly, they will get low-hanging fruits results. For example, last year, when TikTok finally make a right agreement with a Tmall and Alibaba ecosystem, probably because Alibaba invest 1 billion as disclosed investment money from Alibaba to TikTok. So now in TikTok, you have opportunity to bring the traffic to your Tmall store and on Taobao store. And what does it mean? TikTok now is much cheaper from traffic perspective if you compare with inside marketing. So when you buy CPS and the rest methods inside Alibaba platform. So when you learn it and you will realize, oh wow, so it's a new opportunity, and then you can catch up. You can catch this opportunity. So another summary is, by avoiding these mistakes, you will save money and time, but it will not bring you success. It's just will help you save money and time. But to be successful, you should know how others do it now. So what they do e-commerce, they do sales, and they grow. And again, we faced with another conceptual problem of Western people is copy rest is not what is in our DNA. We always should be creative, like follow for our passion and our brand storytelling concept and this type of things. But in China, if you follow even your competitor strategy, that means you will be much more successful. So first you should build the basement of success, and you should start to use the traditional methods and most well working methods, what existed now. And after that, you can be a creative guy or girl. So it takes time. And so by joining China How, you will get all these three things. That's exactly how we made the concept of the China How. Learning, always avoid mistakes, and repeat success from other club members, other merchants. And this is a summary. Next slide, please, Shaoming. And all who will join club today, they will get 30 minutes valuable call with me. And we will quickly go through your current stage. And I will give you my advice and experience from all merchants, what we have, and from our Shaoming past experience and my experience too. So please join the club today and choose time for call with me. And for sure, it will save at least thousands, tens thousands of dollars, and probably few months or maybe year. So Shaoming, go next. Let's start to Q&A session. So who will be brave, guys, and share your mistakes, what you did in Chinese market? Or maybe we didn't put some another mistakes, but we should. Please share, guys. Or if you have question also, ask it. Okay, who want to speak? Vitaly?
Yeah.
Oh, Stefan, you?
Yes, well, it's difficult to say if we really did one of these failures. However, we may have been close to doing so. I mean, selecting a TP is really a crucial thing, and it's very well said that just speaking Chinese is not enough. It's really people need to understand how e-commerce works, and I think choosing the right TP is really very crucial. Also, the question, I mean, this point with the discounts, I had my problems at the beginning to accept that China consumers are driven by discounts. The main call to action is discount. So when we started, I said, okay, this is the price and we are high premium, and this is the price and we are not running discounts on this. But I had to change my mind and really accept that you need to offer discounts on these events. You have these different categories of events. You have your small events every month. You have some bigger events, and then you have the really big ones like 618 or Double 11, where you really have to give pretty much discount. So you have to calculate this with your prices to be ready. What we did finally, we said, okay, let's assume that on your sales, you have to calculate an average monthly discount of 20%. That's how we work today. So we just know that in the average, we have different products, and in the average, we calculate 20% discount per month over the whole portfolio. That's how we do it.
Thank you, Stefan. And by the way, Stefan is running the United Swiss Brands store, or let's say movement, yeah? Stefan?
Yes.
Because you're as a leadership of e-commerce Switzerland community, and you unite all Switzerland best brands and bring them to Chinese e-commerce platform.
Well, that's at least a plan. I don't have all famous brands as a partner yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Stefan, for sharing. Ali, you have question?
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Please
Thank you, Shaoming,
turn
for
on the
that,
video if possible.
Yeah. It says unable to start. Hang on. Now, yeah, good. Hi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, no, a couple of very good presentation. Thank you, Shaoming. I think we've done some good things where we have our own flagship store. We haven't given that to a TP. We are, for the rest of the group, we're very early. We're just 2 weeks into the launch, or having launched. We launched on 6/29. We're a skincare brand. I think we probably are with the wrong TP. The mistake we made was with a foreign TP with a nice PowerPoint presentation. They haven't given us the nice restaurant in Shanghai yet, but I think we may have maybe fallen for the nice presentation, and so therefore we would be looking to work with you to help us find the right TP. And that's the question, Shaoming. How, now that at least I own the store, how difficult is it to change TPs? Because I own the trademarks, the Alipay account is to me, everything is me, I get all the emails. So the fear I have is let's say once you help us identify the right TP, how difficult is it to switch and correct that initial early mistake? Because it is still very early days yet.
Okay, thank you for the question. Well, to change a TP, there are two things you need to do. The first one is with Alibaba, with Tmall. But this kind of thing you already fixed. So which I mentioned here. Okay. So this mistake you didn't make. Great job. And another part is the contract between you and the TP, because you must have a contract. And I don't know how you put the word into that contract.
We have termination 30 days. We give them 30 days notice. It's my right. I insisted on that. I've been in business long enough to know that I don't want to end up in a bad marriage. So I have a 30 days arbitrary unilateral termination clause.
Okay, that's also very good because yes, that's also in my template as well. And number three is the actions. Okay, so how to really change it. So to do this, it is pretty simple. It depends on if your current TP, your OTP is cooperative or not. If they are cooperative, no problem at all. It's just I think 30 minutes handover. That's especially you are new source, so very easy. 1 hour, maximally 1 hour. But if they are not cooperative, then you have your because there's a mobile phone number.
Yes.
Do you have that mobile phone number or no?
Of the category manager, no, I don't have the details.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about every account, Tmall backend system. There's a mobile phone number combined.
Yes.
So
it comes to me. I get the messages. I get the messages.
There's no problem at all. Yeah, you can.
Good.
Mostly. The most important thing is the mobile number.
Okay, well, I double check, but I get lots of emails and lots of messages from Tmall Alibaba group directly. I don't understand any of them because I don't speak Chinese. The follow-up question to that is, and when I spoke to Aina yesterday, one of the advice I see is have a Chinese-speaking person in your team working with the TP. At the same time, Aina, if you remember, we talked about if we have the right TP, then maybe that's not such an immediate thing and that can happen within 3 to 6 months. In your opinion, Shaoming, if we are with the right TP, then at what time do we phase in the Chinese-speaking team member? Is it on day 1 or is it on maybe day 90 or day 30 or day 60 or day 100? Do you see what I mean?
Well, yes, I know what I mean. Well, of course, the best scenario is you can have this guy or this lady on day 1. Because he or she can follow the whole process. But if you don't have it, well, I guess it is still
manageable.
It's manageable. But would the club help us identify the right? Because as you said, like the client you had in America, I don't want to have a Chinese student and pay for their learning curve. So would that, as a club member, is that something that is a service that you can help identify the right team member to recruit and hire?
Maybe we should make this service so many.
I think you should. China How recruitment services. I only take 10% of the commission for the idea. Don't worry.
Good deal, Ali.
Done. No, but these are the things that I think the practical questions.
That's true.
Members and potential members will probably want to know.
Sure. Thank you, Ali. Vitaly, I guess you have things to share.
Sure, guys. Actually, when I was looking on these mistakes that you mentioned, I thought that some of these were exactly about my company and about what we did before. I think that at least maybe 3 or 4 mistakes we definitely did at different stages of our business, at least, maybe even more. I would speak, I think, more about the TP process. I would share a little bit more details what we did before and what we do now. Actually, we already are changing the TP for Tmall for the 2nd time. And even before that, we also had the store registered not for us, but for the 3rd party. So actually, this is the 3rd time that we're like re-entering the Tmall with a different partner. So we did a lot of learnings about that, and I can say that even if you do a very deep research of the TP, even if you check everything, go to their office, see the people, and see the plans that they propose, etc., it is not 100% guarantee that they will provide a good service to you. There are a lot of factors that will influence that real performance. And as for my personal experience last year, when we changed the TP, we audited more than 10 different companies. and we compared them on different points, on different rates, on the cost, etc. And we thought that we made a brilliant decision. But in a couple of months, we found out that it's not so. And there were like several reasons behind that. And that's why now we're changing the TP again. But this time it's a little bit different story because, and maybe this will be also useful for some other brands, because we just agreed with our current new TP to have kind of the trial period. So we gave them one of the stores, not the biggest one, and let them operate it for the short period of time and to see how it works and what problems in cooperation might arise. And actually, a lot of problems arise, but when we came up to start the bigger project with them, now we already know what kind of projects we might face. And we already mentioned all of that in the contract. And now, like our cooperation is pretty much determined. It's much easier now and much, how to say, safer for us as we understand what problems might arise in the future.
Vitaly, may I ask you something? You said that you made a large comparison of different TPs, and finally, you, based on your benchmarking, you selected the right one. You were happy, and you thought that this is a great decision. But after a few months, you found out that it wasn't the case. So this tells us that there are things you don't see when you check the contract and meet the people. So what can you make maybe 2 or 3 examples of what you found out after you signed the contract? What are things that you can't see or they don't tell you, but you can feel it afterwards? What is it?
I can tell you one biggest thing, I think, and several small things. The biggest thing was about our commercial agreement, because actually we selected the company that was, I think, below the middle in terms of the cost. It was not very high cost for the team. And at that time, I didn't understand that it's really impossible for the TP to provide really a good quality team for that cost. And I think this was the biggest mistake from our side. If you like push them to pay less for the team, then they will provide you the team exactly for that money or even less. So there should be the balance here. I think this is the biggest and the most important point. And the second point is, even though we met with them several times, even though we discussed the plans several times, what they plan to do, etc., you will never understand the real quality of their people and their service before you start, really. Because like they can tell you everything and they can present themselves in a very good way. And I was not the one person who did this selection. I also had a Chinese e-commerce manager, a very experienced guy who also like tested them and also said that this is a good choice for us. But even though we did it, the choice was wrong. And now I understand that. So
Very
the best way is like test and learn, I would say.
Vitaly, thank you for sharing, and Stefan for the question. I just want to highlight Vitaly always share most interesting insights from the last his cases, and that's how we all again grow up, and it's an opportunity for us avoid these mistakes.
Yeah, I should put one more mistake. The 11th mistake is what Vitaly just said. Push the price of the TP too low. Yes, if you always say lower, cheaper, then yeah, of course it won't be good.
I also think number 12 will be not good preparation for 11.11. I just realized that many brands don't prepare enough sources, marketing budgets, and understanding about 11.11 campaign and 6.18. But this 11.11 the biggest one, of course, yeah. So, who will be next? Alexei, can you share with us some of your insights and experience?
One moment.
Yes, please.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Alexei. I'm CEO of company Synergetic. We produce ecological detergents in Russia and sell it in Russia. And we already have our project, our company in China until 3 years. And we deal with Tmall, different Tmall Global, Tmall Flagship Store, Tmall Supermarket, JD Supermarket, and other. My experience is main concern is about that for us success is about our own team. We tried different TPs. It's around 4, I think, and now TP manage our Tmall flagship store and Tmall supermarket. And last month they fail 618 and without any growth. And they said this because all Tmall choose the wrong strategy, and all their traffic going to Chinese companies. And all people said about this part. Maybe this good, maybe this not, but in the other side, our own team in our office have a good result in on JD. We sell around 1 million RMB in June, and this good result, not very high growth, but it happens, and it is a business. I think in the future we will change our TPs to all our team, and we now we are going to hire new e-commerce guys to manage Tmall flagship store and Tmall Global and Tmall Supermarket by ourselves. Yes,
Alexei,
this is my experience.
thank you very much. I just want to highlight Alexei have a full-time office in Shanghai last 3 years, and you have around 20 people, yeah, already.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, so it's based on his already setup of his team. He will start to hire another. So it's behind it. It's a story. It's impossible to hire from day one your in-house team. All merchants start with the TP.
But,
Thank you.
It's very difficult to find the right e-commerce guy.
Yes. I remember this when we was in your office in Shanghai, Alexei. Yeah, I can say it's constantly Alexei always hiring people, because it's not easy to find a good one. Thank you, Alexei, for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Yes. So
sorry for my English.
No worries. Ali, you have some question?
Yeah, I was just curious. Hang on. Oh, yeah, I'm unmuted. Yeah, I was just curious to see when Vitaly was talking about the various TPs, what is the monthly fee? I know it depends on category, number of products, amount of work, but is there a general rule? Because I agree, if you pay peanuts, you don't get anything. At the same time, and you know the signer, you can also be ending up paying way too much. So there must be a kind of range that is expected to pay as a fee, which doesn't include the digital marketing costs, because obviously they're on top. Is there a kind of a bandwidth that you would expect, Shaoming, in terms of let's say my category, skincare, beauty? Be curious to see.
I think Vitaly also can share his experience of different pricing
different
for the
levels.
Yeah.
Actually, I can give you the example of the company that I said we paid not enough. Their initial offering was 20,000 RMB per month for one store, for the Tmall store, fixed fee. I would say that this is also not enough for a good quality team, 25. But even from this price, I tried to push them to decrease it at that time. And the final agreement was 19,000 RMB per month for the team.
Yeah.
And I pushed them to decrease the fixed fee, but to pay a little bit more commission. So
Sure.
to pay from 4 to 6% based on their performance. And the initial offering was from 3 to 5.
Right.
But now I see that even 25 was not enough for that high quality team. I think that maybe around 35, maybe it will be fine in Hangzhou. If the TP is in Shanghai, I think the cost of personnel will be even higher.
But something like maybe 50 or 60,000 renminbi per month as a fixed fee, you think is a good level for a good TP? 50, 60 plus a commission as a general rule?
As for me, looks like you can find cheaper, but it will be not easy to do that.
No,
and
but I think the thing is the cheaper is not necessarily, as we've all identified. There's that English saying, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, right? We don't want that.
Yeah, but I would recommend you, Ali, the simplest way how to define that is that cheap or not. You can just discuss with the TP exactly what kind of team you need, and ask them to specify what will be the cost for each person, together with all the social taxes, etc.
And maybe also the kind of sales forecast that they would expect, because presumably they would have some benchmarks, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Shaoming is giving a thumbs up.
And we even put this into the contract. We even put into the contract what kind of team they provide, what is the cost of the team for each person. And then we have the point that if we're not satisfied with the team, we have the right to terminate the contract.
Fine.
Interesting point. Just we did the same. We put we even put the name into the contract and percentage of workload and everything. But then suddenly you got informed by the TP that this person has left the company and there's somebody else, and you don't know the one who's coming, and maybe you have a lot of what we see is a lot of change. People are coming and going again because all these are mostly young people. They start somewhere, they want to earn a lot of money, they jump from one job to the other, and then you face constant change in your external team. And I think this is also a challenge to keep the initial quality with changing people.
Sure. Okay.
Shaoming, I think we should go home or some bar because everybody shared the experience. It's exactly what we always told to our merchants. Yeah, I just want to, on top of that, I want to add some what happened behind, because I know personally some TPs, their daily routine, even their families, and the general picture is look like the TP founders. This is crucial, and your account manager is crucial. So working with a smaller TP who have, let's say, 3 to 5 to 7, maybe maximum 10 the brands under them. So it's the best because the founder still involved in all operations. He control operations. So if you build the synergy between your account manager and this founder, you build the relation. You show them like, I'm active, I react very quick, I make decision very quick, I understand what is it TikTok, how it works, and how to gain traffic from there. Because the problem is always like the Chinese people, they never say no. This is a cultural things, yeah. That why they agreed to sign agreement for 19,000 RMB, because it's hard to say no. There are no this type of culture to say no when money is here, because they always have a hope. We will start with this and maybe we'll increase after that. It's not because they're bad or they want to cheat you, because they have a hope. And then they start to work, but they realize it's hard to manage for themselves. So this is kind of like a losing a face concept. I think you know this concept too, guys. So there's a lot of this kind of small cultural things, but together, they create a lot of misunderstanding from each other. So yeah, I just want to highlight these culture things too. Shaoming, please go ahead.
Yes, and inspired by the talk just now, I'm thinking we can maybe do one more service about the data reports. We can provide about your store. Now we have the data reports about categories, right? Now, how the other guys sell this product, and we have the data reports about your competitors, their brands and their stores. But we can provide another report about your store, so that you can know how it performed, and is your TP doing a good job? Because otherwise, all the information you have is from your TP, and they made up some kind of PPT, fancy PPT, and put some good numbers, but they hide the bad numbers, so you don't know what is going on. So yeah.
Okay, so I just want to tell, thank you very much. I feel the community vibes, and I so inspired. When we just launched this club almost 9 months ago, it was just a concept idea of helping each other. And Shaoming he's our Shifu teacher. He shared the experience and insights and knowledge. But I also happy all other club members share the experience with each other. And now we are on the mode of the growth, and more and more merchants will come to the community. But we already have this community and have this community vibes. I hope Alexei know all best restaurants in Shanghai. I hope very soon, when the borders will be open and finally we're back to the Shanghai, we will all can meet each other in some restaurants what Alexei will choose for us.
I will responsible for party and dinner.
Yes, okay,
Shaoming,
okay.
do you see? This is in Nizhny Novgorod.
Wow. Yeah.
This is a Kremlin and a church, central church in our city.
And why I mentioned the community, imagine Shaoming visit hometown of our club member. That's how deep and close relation we have.
Yes.
Okay, and Shaoming, can you finish with the last slide? So again, a little bit sales part, yeah. So I will share the link again in the YouTube, and you guys can subscribe to the club today, and you will get the 30 minutes call with me, and I will help you, I will help you to avoid mistakes and to build a successful track record from the day one. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you guys. It's so inspiring webinar today.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.